Plant physiology, a branch in which plant life functions, that is physical characteristics, are studied, that is functioning of cell, tissue, organ system, etc. This chapter will deal with most of the fundamental processes like osmosis. You might have studied in lower standard. We'll see in detail in this and other functions. Starting with the first one, that is absorption of roots takes place by four different methods, or you can say what are the needs for the absorption of water by the roots. First, they give mineral nutrients from the soil which conduct them towards the stem for the supply towards the leaves, flowers and fruits. Next, the need of water and mineral for the plant is for four main purposes: photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation and mechanical stiffness. Photosynthesis, right from lower standard you are studying, a process in which food is being prepared by the plant. It is used up by the green leaves as raw material for the synthesis of glucose. Glucose is nothing but the food material which we eat. Transpiration is a process where water is being evaporated in the form of water vapor. It also causes cooling in hot weather for producing suction force also. You have studied about conducting tissue, xylem and phloem. Through xylem, transportation takes place, while through phloem, transpiration takes place. Transpiration in which food material is also being transported, while in transportation only water is and minerals are being included. Next, transportation, water solution from the roots upward into the shoot or from leaves to other parts. And mechanical stiffness, that means water provides turgidity. Turgidity means full of water, which is necessary for the stiffness of plant tissues. Mineral nutrients required by the plant are absorbed from the soil by the roots only. Some of these nutrients are absorbed like nitrates, phosphates and sulfates. We mainly call plants, they need NPK. The fertilizers which are being obtained, they are also main concentration of NPK, that is nitrate, phosphate and potassium. Over here they have also included sulfates. You can see next one, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chlorine, ions also. Based on both positive and negative ion concentrations they have written. These elements are required as a constituent of cell and cell organelle. As you all know, nitrate most important, phosphate for the genetic material itself. Okay. Calcium for the strongness. Different ions have different importance. Next, the synthesis of variety compounds or enzymes are also being prepared with this. There are many enzymatic conditions in which magnesium and chlorine ions are important, so that enzyme becomes active. For this all things, water is being needed by the plant. Photosynthesis, transpiration, transportation and for the stiffness. Next, what are the characteristics of root for absorbing water? Means how does a root should be to absorb the water easily? What will be the characteristic? The ability of the roots to draw water, they should have huge area provided by the rootlets and root hairs. You can see in the figure they have shown you, a root contains many different root hairs on the surfaces as well as branches. So larger surface area you will be having more water absorption. Next, root hairs have thin walls. If they are very thin, the water will be easily absorbed. Surface area of root is enormous. Common experience that even small green garden plants such as balsam, gently uprooted, shows a thick bunch of rootlets. As you can see in the figure, the rootlets which are being shown. If you see them carefully, each of them contains hundreds of root hairs on their surfaces, which are of many kilometers in length. Root hairs have thin walls. The plant cells have two layers: cell wall and cell membrane. Cell wall is thin and permeable. It allows the movement of water molecules. Permeable means permeability for each and every molecule. It may be larger, it may be smaller. The cell membranes is very thin, semi-permeable. Semi-permeable means only the solvent is allowed to pass through it. A solution is made up of two things: solute and solvent. Solute, the one which has less concentration. solvent which has more concentration. Over here only the solvent is allowed to pass in case of semi-permeable membrane, which means that it allows water molecules to pass through it but no larger molecule. The secret of the absorption of water from the soil is because of this. Here figure is being shown to you. Epidermal cell, the outermost cell. Epi itself means outer. Cell wall. Inner layer, cell membrane. The fluid, that is cytoplasm, large space, vacuole, nucleus. The small root hairs which are being grown. This is the larger root hair which has already been grown out. This is about cell sap. Cell sap means water. Initial high concentration that of the surrounding root hairs have the extensions. It is a very simple process how it is being absorbed. Where the concentration is more, the water moves from higher concentration towards the lower. So in the surrounding you have a large amount of water. Inside the plant it is less. This water moves from from outer concentration to the inner side. Root hairs are the extension. They also contain large vacuoles filled with a solution called cell sap, that is cell fluid. Some salts are dissolved in it, therefore usually have a higher concentration of salt, not of water. Water is being more outside. See, absorption and conduction. The entire process takes place with these different types of phenomena: imbibition, diffusion, osmosis, active transport, turgidity and flaccidity. Imbibition. Imbibe means to absorb only on the surfaces. Giving very simple example, if you have dry raisins, if you keep it inside the water, after a few hours the raisins get swelled up. This is what that is diffusion and imbibition. Diffusion is a process through which movement takes place of the water molecules. When it is on the surfaces we call it as imbibition. When it is in the solution itself we call it as diffusion. Only a basic difference in both. See, imbibition, a phenomenon by which the living or the dead plants absorb water by surface attraction. Only on the surfaces what are the molecules are being present, they are being absorbed. Surface attraction, another example if I give you, you have seen the ad of charcoal, Pond's Pond's face wash, in which they have shown charcoal attraction. A glass of water which is filled up with black color water, if you add a charcoal in it, all the black coloration is absorbed on the surfaces. Okay, this is what absorption. Absorption, when you take it inside, like sponges. Sponge को पानी में रखोगे, water is being absorbed inside. The water molecules set inside the pores which are being present. When it is on the surfaces we call it as adsorb. So it is also a kind of surface attraction, while diffusion a kind of absorption. Substances which are made up of cellulose or proteins, they are hydrophilic in nature. Philic means loving. Hydro, that is water. So they have a strong affinity for water. They imbibe water or moisture and swell up. Example, dry seeds, wooden doors during the winter season, mainly during rainy seasons, swell up on contact with water and on exposure to moist air. Due to imbibition and pressure, seed coat ruptures in case of germinating. It is also important pose in the ascent of cell. During rainy seasons you might have seen the germination of mango seeds. In summer season lots of mangoes are being sold out. Those mango seeds are being thrown on the roadside. During rainy season, as the water is being imbibed in those seeds, they start growing up. That is imbibition. Next, diffusion. Very simple process and important too. Free movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. When the two are in direct contact, when they are in the contact, the water molecules start moving. This process takes place up till and unless the concentration is being same. Diffusion can be demonstrated by a simple activity. They have shown you an activity in which jar is taken, giving an example with potassium permanganate, which is purple in color. They have taken a small cube of it, placed inside this water. When you have placed it, it slowly starts mixing with this water molecule, and later on at the end you get a purple color solution. So they have told you how they start diffusing inside the water. Slowly they start mixing. This is diffusion, that is mixing of substances from the region of higher concentration to lower. See, the molecules of the dye are more crowded in and near the tablet. These molecules move away farther and farther in the regions where they are fewer or absent. Clear? From higher to lower. This movement continues until the molecules uniformly distributed stirring up a spoon glass rod hasten the process to become uniform or homogeneous. Might have been clear about this.